where news comes first. This is WECT News at 11, streaming live on WECT.com and the WECT News app.
We're also expecting bitter temperatures, and with the cold and the potential power outages, that is a dangerous combination.
Snow and ice hitting southeastern North Carolina, creating a winter wonderland right now. You're looking at video of big snowflakes in Leland. This was sent to us by viewer Millie Holloman. May look pretty, but it is dangerous out there, especially those roads. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ashley Kozakowski.
And I'm John Evans. Conditions like what you're seeing now, that's why Governor Roy Cooper is asking you to stay off the roads tonight. We've already had reports of a lot of crashes on area roads, and we're keeping you updated with our live team coverage tonight at 11 o'clock. WECT's Connor Del Prete is in Leland, where the snow is coming down more than anywhere else in the area right now.
Yeah, he's seen the best of it, really. And Alex Guarino is out covering the road conditions in Wilmington. Kaylee Tracy in Columbus County with a look at how crews are treating the roads there.
But first, let's get to meteorologist Eric Davis in the First Alert Weather Center. Still tracking the storm tonight. What's the latest on it, Eric?
Yeah, the snow is still coming down, but the heaviest snow and most of the snow, in fact, winding down over the next couple of hours. But keep in mind, especially New Hanover, Brunswick, and Pender County, it's not just the snow you have to be concerned about. We had a period of freezing rain and sleet, so there's a layer of ice underneath the snow, and that's why in these areas particularly the driving conditions are going to remain very dangerous. Winter storm warning in effect though for the entire area. That's going to be in effect through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And take a look at the scene right now. New with Motors First Alert Sky Camera Network. This is the Battleship camera looking into Battleship Park. Significant amount of snow right now. I think at last check we had 2 inches accumulating so far at ILM, and we may be in the 3, possibly 4-inch range across much of New Hanover County before all is said and done. We got a little more snow to go before everything winds down over the next couple of hours. Look at that wind. Northwest 18, wind chill now 14 degrees. So you got the snow on the ground, and it is bitterly cold with those strong northwesterly winds. Now tomorrow morning when you wake up, snow will be long gone. Temperatures in the teens. Notice though tomorrow afternoon temperatures get above the freezing mark. The wind's very strong, so wind chill values will still be in the 20s, but the actual temperatures above the freezing mark. So the combination of the sunshine and mid-30s should melt quite a bit of the snow, particularly on area roadways, but we still may have slick spots even into Friday morning. We'll have the rest of your First Alert forecast in a few moments.
As the freezing rain, sleet, and then snow started to fall, it began in Brunswick County before anywhere else, and that's where some of the heavier snow is still falling. Connor Del Prete is in the Leland area. Now, Connor, you were inland, 7476, made the drive down to the Leland area. What was it like? Those roads still slick and dangerous at this hour?
Oh, absolutely, John. It took us about 45 minutes to get back up here from 7476 to the Leland area. I'm by the diverging diamond now, so you got to stay off those roads. And another reason why you shouldn't be on the roads, no businesses are open except for Save Waffle House. This is the Hardee's right off the diverging diamond, and no one in there from what I can tell. So no one at the Hardee's, no one at any of these businesses around here, so there's really no reason you should be on these roads. I'm going to head over to the diverging diamond now. This has been a big problem area just in terms of it being a confusing pattern, so add snow and ice and some traffic backups, and it's no surprise that there were some problems here today. Brunswick County seeing widespread crashes. Luckily, no major injuries, but the snow continues to come down here. I expect it to remain difficult all evening for drivers and into the morning as the temperatures drop, and some of this could turn into some more dangerous ice underneath. And we did catch up with a man at a gas station earlier today, and he, like many Brunswick County residents, were very surprised at how quickly this snow came into the Brunswick County area earlier today. Take a listen.
Oh man, it's something you don't see very much, and to see it happen this fast, literally I was at the house not just 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, or actually a little bit longer because we left earlier, but about an hour ago, none of this was here. It'd been sleeting all day, but man, it's solid snow now.
Hard-packed snow for sure, and he has a young daughter, 6 years old, who has no school tomorrow, so he says he's going to pack it in, enjoy the snow, and just rest up and not get out on those roads. And for the 11 o'clock, I figured I'd have some fun as well. I have a buddy of ours who joined us all the way from Alaska. They call this summer back out there. He's going to help me out. He made a snowball for me. He's going to toss it to me right here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to throw it right at my photog. Direct hit. and a direct toss. Right back to you, John and Ashley.
All right, Connor, seeing those heavy snowfalls again, and the roads, not many people out on the roads tonight, which is a good thing.
A good thing, and they shouldn't be, because they are dangerous, because we did have a lot of that sleet first, and then the snow on top of that, so there's a layer of ice. You'll want to be careful.
No traffic tonight on the MLK Parkway in the city of Wilmington either.
And that's because crews closed the road after several wrecks happened like back to back earlier today, right after that freezing rain started. And WECT's Alex Guarino was on the scene soon after crews made that call. She's still out right near the entrance to MLK in downtown. So Alex, what's it like out there right now?
Well, actually still closed, and we have not seen many cars in the last 30 minutes. About 10 minutes ago, I did see a plow and a salt truck. That's good news, but the snow's coming down so quickly here that they really can't keep up, and most of them are on the highways still anyway. Take a listen to the state's plan from earlier today about how they're treating these roads tonight.
Our first priority is going to be for those major roads. It's about 16,000 miles across the state, about 10,000 miles in eastern North Carolina. And then we'll be shifting over to clearing secondary roads, with the other priority of coordinating with emergency management and power companies to make sure they have access to those places that have down power lines.
So like you heard there, first the plan is to take care of those major roads. That's what they're doing right now. We haven't seen except one plow on the secondary roads, but I can't let Connor have all the fun and these live shots. I just want to give you a look here at how much snow there actually is. I mean, I would guess, being from Boston, that's a good almost 4 inches. Unfortunately, not really great snowball snow here, but maybe it will be better for tomorrow. We know we have a lot of people off from school, but for now, live in downtown Wilmington, Alex Guarino, Ashley, John, back to you.
And those snowflakes building up on the camera lens out there too. Well, thanks Alex for that report. The storm creating problems for passengers at Wilmington International Airport. Let's take a live look right now at the arrivals and departures schedule. Delta and American Airlines already canceled the flights out of ILM in the morning. Flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, and LaGuardia up till 7:15 a.m. just are not happening. Set the alarms accordingly. Maybe you'll get a little extra sleep there. 2 arriving flights that were supposed to come in tonight from Atlanta and Charlotte were called off. So it's a good idea to check with your airlines before you leave in the morning.
Nearly all schools have already made a call about classes on Thursday. New Hanover, Brunswick, Pender, Columbus, and Whiteville City schools all closed to students and staff. Bladen County schools, along with UNC Wilmington, Cape Fear Community College, and Brunswick Community College, also closed. You'll find that growing list of school and business closings right now on the WECT News app, along with WECT.com. And we will have a special coverage of this winter storm tomorrow morning on Carolina in the Morning. It will start a half hour earlier, 4:30 a.m., live team coverage of the road and the weather conditions. So start your day bright and early, 4:30 a.m. for Carolina in the Morning. And we're not the only ones getting that taste of winter weather.
The latest as the storm makes its way up the coast. But before we head to break, let's take a look at a pretty fun sight from the winter storm. Edie Center shared this with us. This is her dog Bongo pulling her son Ollie on a sled through the snow in downtown Wilmington. It looks like they are having a lot of fun out there.
Good stuff.
This is meteorologist Eric Davis with your First Alert weather.
Well, just a reminder, this was our snowfall forecast going into the event, and it looks like it's going to verify pretty well. Although we did lower at the last minute here the amounts for Onslow and Duplin County back down to 2 to 4 inches, but generally we've been saying 1 to 3 inches across most of southeastern North Carolina. It looks like on average that forecast is going to verify pretty well. Now there are some minor exceptions. We have gotten a report in Boiling Spring Lakes about 4 inches of snow in a couple of spots. And I do think a few isolated 4 to 5 inch amounts are certainly going to be possible before before all is said and done. And there are a couple of areas that have kind of missed out on the snow altogether, as I'll show you on the First Alert Digital Doppler here in just a moment. But in the coming hours, we're going to start to see the snow begin to wind down as the low drops down to about 24 degrees in the port city. Obviously, it's going to feel a lot colder than that, though. Winds have been gusting well over 10 miles per hour, at times as high as 20, even a 30-mile-per-hour gust in the last hour or so in Wilmington. Tomorrow, snow is long gone. As far as falling, of course, it will still be around in terms of on the ground. Obviously, very slippery conditions across most of southeastern North Carolina tomorrow morning when you wake up, and that's why most of the schools are closed tomorrow. 37 for your high, and with that biting northwesterly wind, wind chill values running in the 20s for much of tomorrow. Let's take a view into Elizabethtown right now, new with Motors First Alert Sky Camera Network. It looks like in Bladen County we are finally starting to see some snow on the ground. Not quite in the amounts that we're seeing here in New Hanover County, but you can definitely see a little bit of light snow on the ground, maybe up to an inch it looks like in some parts of Bladen and Columbus County before all is said and done. But clearly the darker purples, the blue colors, that has been more over New Hanover and Pender County over the last couple of hours. These are where the heaviest snow bands have been setting up, and while we did initially start as a lot of freezing rain and sleet, we've definitely made up for some lost time in the last couple of hours, and it looks like we're going to see some spots over 3 inches, particularly in these areas, with lighter amounts generally as you move back into Bladen and Columbus County. Another thing that sets your totals back, you had a dry slot for a long time this afternoon, so the precipitation was a little bit late in starting in some of these areas. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. You can see the deepest purples now beginning to shift offshore, but still some moderate snowfall across Pender and parts of New Hanover County. It's starting to lighten up, though, a little bit as you get back along Highway 17 into portions of Brunswick County. Now, we talked about an area that kind of missed out on the snowfall. Take a look what's been happening around the Sunset Beach and Ocean Isle area. For much of the day, we were in the pink color, and then maybe a few flurries, but then a transition kind of out of the snow altogether. And if there's an area that was kind of the big snowfall loser, it was probably this southwestern corner right here, Ocean Isle Beach, Sunset Beach, and into the Carolina Shores area. It looks like these areas just never really did get the snow going. So I guess, unfortunately, you guys are the big snowfall losers, while maybe just a little bit further to the east, Boiling Spring Lake, one of the bigger winners right now with over 4 inches of snow on the ground, and parts of New Hanover County are probably going to come down as some of the big winners in terms of snowfall amounts. Back towards the west, you can see the heaviest snows are already beginning to shift out of our area. Still some residual light to moderate snow, though, back towards the west. That'll continue for a few more hours across the area. At this hour, 27 Wilmington, 26 degrees in Elizabethtown, and look at that wind gust, 29 miles per hour in Wilmington just in the last hour. That wind chill now 14 degrees in the port city, and as we said, still some snow around right now, but over the next couple of hours it shifts out of the area and just plain old cold weather as you wake up tomorrow morning. 7-day forecast, 37 tomorrow, and another dump of Arctic air, 35 on Friday, 33 for the high on Saturday. Look at that, 14 on Saturday morning. Sunday we start to turn the corner, highs back in the 40s, and the next precipitation event will be rain with highs in the upper 50s on Monday. That'll feel pretty good. It does not feel all that great right now out in the WECT courtyard, although I have to say it does look very pretty. Right now, meteorologist Kelly McGlynn out there. How's it feel out there? I'm sure not too good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty out here. The snow is glistening. It's a nice snowfall, but you can definitely feel those winds. Northwesterly winds around 15, 20 miles per hour, but you just showed those gusts upwards of 30, 35 mile per hour winds. And aside from it snowing, yes, the wind is definitely blowing out here. The street signs are just wobbling back and forth. You can see some of that snow blowing around because of the winds, and we're actually just seeing a nice steady snowfall. For the most part, we're done with that sleet and freezing rain mix, but don't forget, below all this snow is where you see that icy mix. So if you do have plans that take you outside, and if you have to be out and about on the roads, make sure you're clearing the top of your car off with that snowfall that's layered on top of there. Take your time on the roadways because things are going to be very slippery and slick overnight tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow. And these cold temperatures, they're going to be sticking around for the rest of the week as well. Not going to see a warm up probably until as we head into the weekend. But for now, definitely going to want to add on those layers if you're heading out and about. Enjoy the day off with the kids, spend some time with the snow. I mean, I think we probably got about 2 inches out here. Some spots reporting about 2.5 inches in Leland, about 2 inches at the ILM airport. But I've been out here for about 15 minutes, and I think it's time to come back inside. So, John and Ashley, I'll send it right back to you.
All right, Kelly, thanks.
All right, today she's not getting blasted like she was
No,
at 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock, the gusts were really
She
hitting
had some
her,
really
so,
tough
yeah.
wind gusts. So come on back in,
Better come
Kelly,
back
and
in,
warm
sorry.
up.
Yeah.
Today's storm gave some cities the first taste of winter in decades.
Yeah, NBC's Dan Sheneman takes a look at the snow that's already fallen and what's ahead for the Northeast.
The East Coast bracing for a blast of winter.
I just got some lobster totes here and completely full of sand and salt.
Blizzard warnings are in place from North Carolina to New England. In Massachusetts, forecasters are calling for heavy snow and winds of up to 70 miles per hour along the coast.
Significant flooding, and then that significant flooding and debris possibly freezing for several days.
Throughout the Northeast, crews are spreading salt and sand, while residents stock up.
I've got generator and snowblower gas tanks in my car.
Much of the South is already covered in snow, even the Sunshine State.
It is snowing.
In South Carolina, thousands were left without power. Driving conditions treacherous.
They closing the roads and everything, so we got to get in.
While many Southerners struggled with the snow, others enjoyed the brief blast of winter, including a pair of surfers.
It's only happened twice in my lifetime, so twice I've seen snow.
If you can't surf, slide. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Well, New York City and Boston have already canceled school Thursday. More than 2,000 flights also canceled at airports in Boston, Philly, and New York City.
And please stay weather aware over the next few days by downloading our free WECT weather app. We have all kinds of features that you can use every day to keep you and your family safe, and you can monitor these changing weather conditions. Our First Alert weather team keeps you updated on this app with live radar. They shoot videos as soon as the forecast is updating, and we have live streams there as well. We will be keeping you updated, of course, on air all night and during a special early edition of Caroline in the Morning. Our crews are coming in earlier to get you up to speed. That starts at 4:30 a.m. right here on WECT. Coming up after this break, our weather coverage continues.
What the situation is like at this hour in Columbus County, where a shelter is open, and help for those who need it on the roadway. Now, we already talked about a lot of crashes happening on the roadways, especially I-140 and the Holmes Bridge in New Hanover County.
Yeah, I-140 was closed from mile marker 20 to 10. The MLK Parkway closed earlier as well. And meantime, we had Chelsea Donovan out with DOT crews riding along as they went out to help drivers who were stranded.
Well, it's been an incredibly active night as we are basically embedded with the NCDOT's IMAP program, which is the Incident Management Assistance Patrol. It's a free service for all of you drivers out there, and we have been all over New Hanover County, Brunswick County, and up into Pender responding to many motorists in distress, mainly on bridges and thoroughfares, overpasses where there is a nice glaze that has come down courtesy of this winter storm. It's now changing over to snow, and it's making basically the lines on the roadways completely invisible here. So we have to continue to urge you folks, if you don't have to be out in this weather, please stay home. But also remember, if you are ever in an accident or need the IMAP program, you can simply dial *HP. They're fabulous people, and they can do everything from changing a tire, jump start, bring you gasoline, small mechanical repairs. So certainly they've been on high alert and very active as we continue to go through this winter coastal storm. Back to you.
Well, we checked, and Snow's Cut Bridge, which, as you know, can be prone to freezing during conditions like these, is still open at this hour.
That's right. It's not the only part of Pleasure Island, though, that crews are keeping an eye on overnight. WECT's Tess Bargeber spent some time in Carolina Beach.
And officials were also keeping a close eye here on Canal Drive tonight, just because of reasons like this, some water pooling on the road. They said that this is one of the spots that floods pretty regularly, even without rain. So they were concerned that some of that water could become frozen, which could be a danger for drivers. They were going to keep a close eye and close portions of Canal Drive if necessary. Town Manager Michael Kramer says that it's all about keeping drivers safe tonight, with authorities keeping an eye on Snow's Cut Bridge and here on Canal Drive as well.
In this case, where we're more concerned about the water that's there freezing and having different layers and having an accident where you no longer can control your car and goes into a home, that's where we're going to be watching that very closely.
Kramer says that they were also going to keep DOT crews brining the bridge as needed. He says that it was unlikely that they would have to close the bridge tonight, but they were taking a wait-and-see approach, and they'll do it if necessary. In Carolina Beach, Tess Bargeber, back to you.
Your heater has probably not kicked off in the past few days because it's just been so cold. But if you hit the stores trying to find a space heater, you're probably out of luck. There were a lot of empty shelves at hardware and home improvement stores today. With the forecast staying really cold through the week, they will be in demand once stores are restocked. But you can see what we found out and about today. Not a lot of options out there when it comes to space heaters. Well, before we head to break, let's take a live look outside in the WECT News courtyard.
Ice sculpture built by a professional sculptor, Ski Kowalski. I think with the temperatures in the 30s for the rest of the week, that might stick around.
Yeah, we'll have it for a little while, hopefully.
Our team coverage of the winter weather is continuing. Let's go to Columbus County, where WECT's Kaylee Tracy has spent the night.
Yeah, Kaylee, it looks like the conditions have gotten worse there over time. What's it like out there now?
Well, Ashley and John, as you can kind of see behind me a little bit, there is a nice coating here in the parking lot of Edgewood Elementary School where they've set up a emergency shelter for anyone who needs a warm place to stay, some warm food, coffee, and, you know, there's beds, blankets. The Red Cross is set up here tonight. But like you guys did say, there is a nice coating, and the conditions have worsened behind me. There's not as much as there is in Leland and Connor and Alex in Wilmington, in downtown Wilmington, making snowballs and throwing snow around. Not yet, maybe tomorrow morning. But I have been riding around with Hal Louder. He is the emergency manager in Whiteville. And around 9 or 9:30, the roads weren't too slick, but he came back here to the elementary school around 10:30 and told me that had changed. He was riding around and they got a lot more slippery, excuse me. And he said that under any conditions, it's not good for drivers to be out there. It's very dangerous, and he does not want to have any emergencies out there. And so far, knock on wood, there have not been any calls weather-related to emergencies for him to be called out there. DOT plows were out and about while we were, and Whiteville City salt crews were out treating the roads as well. But he said under 25 degrees, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's still pretty slippery out there. And we were joking around earlier tonight before the conditions started out here, and we said, is it even going to snow out here tonight? But take a listen to what he said after that.
Yeah, we were sitting around talking, you and I, earlier, is it ever going to snow? And we looked at the radar picture, and that just big round hole around Whiteville. There was a circle, almost a perfect circle, and now it's a pretty steady snow. So it's the good fluffy stuff right now, but we do have a lot of wet stuff out there. So we're getting it now.
And crews are on hand, Louder says, in case conditions get pretty much worse than this behind me. Reporting in Columbus County, I'm Kaylee Tracy.
All right, Kaylee, thanks. And now, even though most of the schools are out tomorrow, we can't forget about our WECT Athlete of the Week. The honor goes to New Hanover boys basketball player Hayden Edgar, named to the Leon Brogdon All-Tournament team after averaging 15 points in 3 games. So congratulations to him. Most of the schools in the area are off for tomorrow. Again, check that on WECT.com and the WECT News mobile app. And Eric, as far as overnight into the morning tomorrow?
Yeah, one last look at the radar. Looks like Blade and Columbus County, your snow will wind down the next hour or two. Official snowfall total ILM now 3 inches.
Okay, don't go out on those roads unless you absolutely have to.
All right, be safe. See you tomorrow.